Good morning to all traders and welcome to this Tuesday's Market Insights video on FX Majors. It is the 7th of July, a very interesting session following, of course, yesterday's increase in risk appetite. Along with risk appetite, we also saw the cases rising in the US, in Australia, and one would have thought that, well, markets should really take that with a negative tone rather than anything else. But we saw risk assets as well as safe haven assets increase at the same time. When this happens, to me at least, it seems to suggest that, okay, we have recovery and also the economic data suggests the same. However, investors are not convinced that this recovery is going to last. That's why we see safe havens at the same time being up at the same time as risk assets as well. So with that said, you know, Euro had a very, very good session yesterday, okay, along with other pairs, of course, and currencies against the dollar. And we are going to really see today what's happening, what is the session holding for us for the day, and perhaps actually even to the end of the week and even further down the line. So we're going to look at euro dollar, dollar yen, as well as Aussie, because we've had the RBA overnight as well a few hours back, and well, they kept rates unchanged. And as we just actually mentioned as well, they do not really know what the speed of the recovery is going to be. And the markets seem to suggest, I mean, the market's performance seem to suggest exactly the same thing. So RBA, you're not alone in this. Euro dollar, we talked about a potential move to the upside last week, right? We were looking at this to be an ABC with a W, X and Y down here in wave B. And we looked at this being well, it was supposed to be a 5-wave move to the upside because we see this as a flat, right? Now, we did reach the 113.50, which is not a double top. I mean, it could be considered because it's pretty much the same level, but we didn't take it out. So we could see another move to the upside just to create a false break above this level and to take out that level, and then this would be considered a completed flat. And from there, we can start looking for price to move lower. Now, we could get to 113.68 or so. It wouldn't be a surprise. But I'm looking at this to perhaps have another move to the upside. Now, the moment we break below the 113.023, which is pretty much the 113 psychological level, we can probably start looking for prices to move lower in wave Y. And this is going to be the first move for this corrective downside move for W, then X, and then Y, which is going to complete the intermediate wave move. Now, in case we see prices turning lower, it means that, well, it means that we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5 done over here, okay? And I would expect, in that case, this trend line to break, okay, in order to consider more downsides, at least to the 111.46 or so, okay? The other scenario, of course, as always, is that, well, this is wave 1, this is wave 2, and we're going to move higher for wave 3. For that, I'll be looking the break of 113.50 and then the 113.83. And of course, we would have to revisit the 114.21 as well. On dollar yen, we are moving exactly as we expected last week. We're still, just by the way, we're still looking at this as part of a correction, right? So we've got X and we're expecting Z, which is a triple zigzag, right? If you recall, we looked at this move to the downside as a corrective wave B. This is an ABC, but it doesn't look like it's ended yet, okay? We had a break below previous wave A, and this could indeed indicate that this zigzag move has finished, but we didn't take out the 05 Fibonacci retracement of wave A or the 61.8 either, okay? We took the 38.2, of course, however, not any of these two. And since we are still far from wave 1, I believe we have another move to the downside, okay? Once we go towards the 107.11 and perhaps even to revisit the 107 and we have a very good psychological support over here, we could see a bounce up for wave C. Okay, now wave C could take us to, well, if we assume we'll go to the 50, right? Oh, let's just do 107 to be a bit more precise. I would be expecting wave C to end anywhere between 108.29 and 109, but in this case, this is most likely going to turn out to be a W, X, and Y, because we really want this wave to cross above the previous high of 109.85, right? The other scenario, of course, is that we are going to turn lower and break below the 106.65, and that would invalidate this move to the upside. Last, the Aussie. Last week we looked at this move over here. I recall we were expecting another move to the upside and then start moving lower, but obviously with this structure now coming into play, this is very possible triangle over here, right? So it looks like we've overthrown, extended above this trend line of the triangle, 0 just below the 70 cents actually, the 69.98. We missed the 70, and this attempt, a weak attempt, could really be indicating that we're going to see a reversal to the downside now. In case we break below this trend line, right, we're looking for to head lower for wave 3. Before that, of course, we need to break also the bottom trend line of the triangle, and at the same time the 69, the 68, and then the 67 to even consider that this is indeed a reversal, right? And we would have to return back below the descending trend line channel here, which obviously is, well, you know, probably a longer term, definitely a longer term one. So in case we return below that, then most likely it's going to be a wave A, then B, and a C in the longer term. Now, what we could see happening, right, we could see, well, this not being wave C, right, that not being wave 5, that would be 3, 4, and this could turn out to be an ending triangle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I would still be looking for a bounce over here on this trend line, okay, or to see actually whether we're going to get a bounce or a break. If we break that, right, most likely we're going for wave 3. If not, we could perhaps go higher again, up for a fresh high above the 70.65 or so, and perhaps even closer to the 71 cents. So thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again tomorrow on our metals and energies market insights video, where we're gonna look at gold, oil, and other commodities.